Welcome to a Gamemaker tutorial where I'm going to be showing you how to make a tower defense game in Gamemaker. It's pretty simple and quick. So, like usual, we create sprites, and with the sprite we're going to be making SBR underscore tower, and we're also going to be making a bullet sprite. Now, I like to do my sprites by 32. You can do whatever you want. I'll do mine 32. And let's just make this a box and paint it. So that's going to be our tower. I'm going to middle center it, and we're going to be making SVO underscore bullet. That's right. So with this, we want to make it smaller than the tower, but not too small that we can't see it. So since it's 32, I want to put it at 4 times smaller. So 8. And we will be not a box, but circle. The reason why I did it with white or grey scale is so when I make towers, I can have different color towers using image blend. But these are just going to be default. Now I want to make OBJ tower. So first we're going to add an event, the create event like usual, and set up the variables. So the first variable we're going to have is the shoot speed. So we're going to have it as 1. So that's going to be slow. But we're also going to have the bullet damage equal 1. And range equal to 1. Now, these are going to be like multipliers. So that's going to be like a 1 times multiplier, or 1 times bullet. Well, bullet damage is different. Bullet damage will be actual facts. They won't be multiplier. But the range will be a multiplier that will be times by a number, say like times by 64 sort of thing. And so it's going to be like 1 times, 64 times 1. I mean, you can go to 64 and it's X, Y, and Z in a circle of rotation around it. So we can see from there. And then we can have a simple effect equals 0. Actually, we're going to have none instead. So the effect will be, say like poison, or if you've played Bloons DD, you got like the explosion ones, the ice ones, and the glue gunners. The ones that slow them down plus slowly decomposes. That's what this will do. So if it's set to a specific one, there will be an extra effect when colliding with the target. And yeah, so basically this and this gets set onto the target. We also need bullet speed equal 1. That's also going to be set on the target. Well, I should say the bullet we create. So slash bullet, meaning that slash tower. So these affect the tower, these affect the bullet, which we'll be doing in a sec. Okay, now I'm going to create, well, after setting the sprite first, I'm going to create obj underscore bullet, which the bullet will help, which, yeah, bullet is self-explanatory. So when create, we're going to set effect to equal instance underscore nearest x y obj underscore bullet, tower. Actually, instead of effect, that would be owner, and then we're going to have effect equal owner dot effect. So owner will get, so what I was just doing, which I was writing down here, but you may not have seen, was owner equal to the instance ID of the nearest tower. So when created, it will only find, because it's going to be, the bullet's going to be created on top of the tower, it's going to find the nearest instance of a tower and set that ID to itself. So then it finds effect, and then it finds the tower, of the Pacific Tower, effect, which is right here. So this tower has none for its effect. But if I wanted to, I could make a parent tower. So I can make obj underscore parent or par and then tower. Which this won't do much, but all it needs to do is add a children tower. So now instead of doing just tower, we do par underscore tower, or object par tower, which basically it checks this, and then all the children underneath it. But because this object's not going to exist, and towers are going to exist, meaning I can have a billion different towers, and it would be a lot easier. So if I wanted to make a separate tower object, meaning if I wanted a presets for towers, that would be one way. But for now, I'll show you how to add two more presets of the tower, and how to upgrade towers. Also drag and drop them in. For now, I'm going to make it so simple shooting at the target and simple placing for the first tower. So we've done that. Now we want to do bullet speed and damage equal owner dot bullet speed owner dot damage. So it sets the speed and damage, which a simple way to do this is also direction equal owner dot direction. Now there's image angle and direction. With this, I want direction because image angle changes the angle of the sprite. That, because we've got a square, we don't need to change. But if you're doing like a monkey in Bloons TD sort of thing style where it had a face and it needed to face towards something, then you do, in this, you do image angle equal direction for the step in the step event, which happens every second. So it will set whatever its image angle is to its direction. And because our bullets are circular, we don't even need to worry about image angle. So we can have speed equal to bullet underscore speed. And instead of just finding the owner's bullet speed, we find it for this, and then we won't ever need to find it again because we can just call bullet speed for anywhere else in the code. So say we wanted to freeze time, we wanted to freeze everything, like just say like there's a pause button. We want to set the speed to 0, and then we want to reset it to bullet speed, but we don't want to have to write owner.bullet speed every time. That's what this helps for. And there's also other ways to use it if you really want. Well, bullet damage is not necessary, but it's better to do that most of the time when grabbing a variable from another object, because that object could be destroyed later on, meaning, oh no, that bullet still exists, but but the tower's being destroyed, meaning because it's already got the owner, if I write owner.bullet speed, it will already have the ID because it's been, when it created, it already got the ID, but it will try looking for that ID and that bullet damage again, but because we've already preset it in here, so even if the tower is destroyed, it still keeps the bullet speed and still keeps the bullet damage for the whole game until the so-called bullet's being destroyed or exits the room. Now, as I was just saying, exiting the room, we want to go other, then we want to see outside of the room. If so, then we're going to go instance destroy. Just a simple instance destroy. Now with this, we've got it, so once it hops out of the room, that destroys itself. Now, we want to make the target, which is what the tower's going to be looking for. Now we're going to make it slightly bigger than the bullet, but slightly smaller than the tower. well, you can choose how you want the thing, depending, but I'm going to go 16. So now I've done that, we can create, we're going to do simple, we're going to make a parent, so parent object, and we're going to have it as target. Now, like Balloons TD, there's different types of balloons. You've got the special balloons that have the special effect on them, like the metal balloons, and you've also got the default balloons that have different layers. Now, we could do that with a simple vent known as HP equal 1. So if HP equals 1, then we're going to have it so it's like set color to red. But if HP equals 2, because it has 2 hits, set color to blue. We're also going to have the speed equal to 1. So that's going to be like a multiplier. And we're also going to have the effect equal to just none, because it's boring having a blank. Okay, so we got that. Now, there's multiple ways we could do it. We could either have paths per room, 1 path per room, which would get annoying, or we could have an object that moves the balloon a certain distance, which, let's just make a tile set for the ground. SBR underscore tile underscore ground. I did SBR because it's a sprite, but I did tile because it's a part of the tile sets, and then it's what type of tile set it is. So because we got that, I can go 32 by 32. I want, let's say, green. We want green grass, blue water, and we want a sandy path, or sand in general. So I'm going to use that. Now, I left the top part blank, and that's because tile sets in Gamemaker Studio, the top corner, you can't have anything there. Now we're going to have tile underscore ground, and we're going to set that sprite. So I'm not going for the fanciest game here, but yeah, so we're going to set 32 by 32, and if we zoom, see how it only outlines that, and that? It doesn't outline here because this part is out of its radius for some reason. It doesn't count the first tile as any tile, ever. Unless you to do your own manual tile set. Otherwise, then no. So let's get a room. The room object is this. Now let's just set it to, say, 96. by 64 because I just want some sort of room that's not too big, not too small. And let's click here, add new tile set, put it behind the instances, so the instances are on top and the background's in the bottom, and select tile set. Yeah, see, this is like the eraser, but this is grass, so I can set the whole. So I go like edit mode. See, you can make your own brushes. So I want a triangle sort of thing like that. Yeah, they deselect edit mode. I can select that, and then I can go click a bunch of times to add like some sort of cool pond. And now with this, I can draw my path. I want a pretty straight path because it's just easier for a simple thing. Now there is one thing I could do with what I was going to do. Like, I could do it if I really wanted to, is overline. Now, you'll probably easily tell that you go like that because you saw me draw it, or it's just obvious. But yeah, because I'm going to make an object like right here, tiny little object that changes the direction of where the target's going to go. So once it hits like here, or at the very end, once it hits down, so it gets in line, it can go down, 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 and it changes sides when it reaches there. And then it goes like that, and then it sets for its last time, and then if it hits an object that's going to be like just out of the room, so you've got plenty of time to hit it on its last shot, then yeah. And I can also add, so you can only place towers on the grass, meaning by adding a water tile here, saying that you can't place a tower like, say here. And now when you're going to be placing the tower, you probably think, when I place it, it's probably going to be like this. Where I could even place it on the path, but that's going to change because I'm going to make it snap. Also, the towers are going to snap to like 8 by 8. So it's got a tiny snap, but you can't do like that to a tile, or you can't have it too close. So it can't be like overlaying the path. It probably can be like that, but otherwise it can't. So I'm going to just set a few towers for default and set the creation for the balloon. Now, I'm not just going to do one balloon because I'm not going to have the balloon with 1 HP. That's right, this doesn't need a picture because it's a parent object. Control C, Control X, this, actually, undo that. I want to click here, cut event, yep. We're going to create a new object, obj underscore target test. Parent. Its parent is the target. In its create, we're going to paste the event, which is this. We're going to set its HP to 6. Actually, make that 10. Speed to 1. Okay, now step. So I'm going to make a simple obj underscore collision. This collision is going to be a 1 by 1 pixel that we can resize. So let's just make it a little red dot thing. I'm going to make it so you can't see it when the game starts, but I'll also be able to, it's not going to be hard, you just change it so it's invisible. Okay, so I'm going to just make the object obj underscore dial. Now this is going to change the direction of the target, and it's going to be the little tiny 1 by 1. Now the reason why I did a 1 by 1 is so I can easily reshape it in the game. Now we're going to have create, and then we're going to have dial equal 0. Now we can have part target. We can have a step event, and then we can have if no, not a step event. We're going to have a collision event with the dial because it will make it easier, and then say direction equal other dial. So basically, it's going to for any target, for any target objects, because this is the parent, it will run in every target option. If it collides with the object direction / dial, it will change its direction to the object dial, the one it collided with. That's what in the collision event happens when you use other, and then dot dial, which is the variable of its direction. Now in the room, we can do this. So we're going to get close up, and we're going to go 1 by 1. So I'm going to create the object, and it's a tiny little object. I'm going to get that, and then make it a little strip. Now in its creation code, meaning dir equal 270. So 270 is down, 0 is right, 90 is up, and 180 is left. And then you go back down to 270. And then it goes back to 360. And then 0. So yeah. So we're gonna if you want, so do that, so you get the width, and then you drag it down to the very bottom. So once the target reaches this, it will change its direction that way. When I double click, creation code, dir equal 90. It's like hitting a wall. So when it first gets created, it spawns here. So it automatically, this just sets it to 270, just in case you want different maps that start like here. It will be useful. And then it goes down, and then once it reaches the very end, not in the middle, so it's not like it hits in the middle, so it goes like that, but it reaches the very end, it goes like that. So it's perfect in line with the path. So dir equal 270. Okay, I'll just skip all this now. So I'll just do the rest. And I'll be right back. So I've done creating the map with all the object dies in it. So the path is finished. Now I'm just going to make the last collision thing, which is going to spawn the targets, which is going to go object spawn, and that's going to be invisible, and an image of the target. So instance create layer x y o layer obj underscore target test, and then we're going to have lam 0 equal, let's say 120, no, 24, no, there. So 5 seconds, I think that is. So 30 is 0.1, 0.5 is, so yeah, it's probably 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds it will create a target. So now we have the target ready. I can put that here and see. So it's slightly bigger, meaning we're gonna have to do 8 by 8 and put the object here. So objects get there, I mean the path is gonna be slightly bigger. So even if we're a tiny bit off, meaning instead we're just gonna do that. So just move this forward if it's slightly bigger. It will help the centerizing it. Now this is just a simple way of doing it. There are other ways like using the path, which is quicker, but you also have to do more code for it. You have to preset the path. You have to tell the object which path it wants to go on. This, you just create the object, set its direction for each of these, and then it will follow it no matter what. So, looks cool. Oh yeah. Now, I want to turn visible off, just like this. So visible, so it's invisible now with tower. So we've got it all set up. Now we're gonna have, oh yeah, we're gonna have delay equals 0. So delay equals 0, and we're gonna have step plus equal, and then we're gonna have speed, shoot speed plus shoot speed. So, and we're gonna have to check if delay is greater than 120. Nah, 240. So if it's greater than 240, then oh yeah, so first we're gonna go distance, no, direction, that's right, equal point direction from whatever x and y I am to target dot x and target dot y. Now, we're gonna make the target. var only ever happens within the step of, or within the one frame sort of thing. So it only ever happens once, and after that, it gets rid of, so you can't put it in anywhere else. But it's pretty much a non-savable variable, meaning you basically calculate something and then you just use it once and then you recalculate it again every time. If you really want to know the definition, just search it up. There should be some, oh yeah, just go in the help menu. It will tell you more about it in a proper way. I'm just showing you how to make the game. So target equal to instance nearest x y obj underscore par target. So the parent target, meaning it will look for any type of target object, any object that's a target, which all we have is the parent target and the target test. So the target test is this, which is just a simple one. Has great speed equal. Let's just set it to 5. So the bullet speed. So with the tower, we're also going to set it to. So tower. If we want to go back to the step event, we want to say it's going to set it to the par target, meaning it's going to look for the nearest target, and then it's going to point towards that direction, but not actually show it. It's gonna mentally point, not physically point. Image alpha is physically point, and mentally point is the direction. So it's gonna look for the nearest instance and point towards it, so when it shoots a bullet, it shoots towards that object. Now, we're gonna check if delay is greater than 240. Depending on the shoot speed, the faster it is. So right now we have shoot speed +1, so it's going to go up 1 every second, meaning it's going to be exactly 4 seconds, probably, around about. Now we're going to have to check if target, distance to object target is smaller than. Now this is where range comes in. So if we had this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just say the range is 10. So 10 by 8 is, so it's greater than even better. 16 by 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 516. So that is 16 times 5 is going to be, so it's 64, and then we're going to have times, which is this little star thing, and then we're going to have range. So if I increase that range to like 1.5, it's going to be 64 times 1.5, meaning it's going to be 0.5, well, 50% more than 64, meaning if that is true, so it's within that range, so it's close enough, meaning it's gonna instance create x, y, obj underscore bullet. It's going to create the bullet. It's set delay equals 0. So it's going to reset delay, and then delay is going to have to increase again, and then it's going to find it, check if the target's within range, and then shoot again. So it will be doing a continuous loop, and it should work. Now, there's one thing I made a mistake. See, this is meant to be layer, and there's meant to be a section here that's layer. and done. So there's towers here. They're preset towers, so it's not really, you can't really do much except watch. And now let's run. Looks like we got our first error. So we got a fatal error in action 1, step event 0 for object tower. The variable unknown objects dot y. Oh yeah. So what happened was it could not find target because target didn't exist. But we never said, we said to check for target. But because it couldn't find target, it couldn't find ID and it ended up breaking. So we're gonna have to fix that. It's not that hard. I just didn't think about it. So we're gonna have to check for if it exists. So we're gonna have if instance exist. So right here. And then we're gonna have obj underscore power target, and then we're gonna have done, and we're gonna put it all the way over here, so nothing can happen. Nothing will happen unless it exists. Except for the delay, that will still increase. So delay stays on its own, and then this is the search that searches and attacks the target if it exists, and if it's within range, as well as if the time, the reload time, or say shoot speed, has finished and is ready. So now let's just reload it again. Okay, so it ran this time. No. Look how fast it is. So we're gonna have to play around with it. Only one, the bullet seems to have trouble. But yeah, it goes on the path pretty well. Now the object still exists because I've yet to delete it, even though it exits the room. Meaning it's soon gonna get laggier from every bullet and every object that keeps on running. So we're gonna have to fix that. One, we're gonna have the bullet, once it collides outside, it deletes itself. And the object, once it hits to the exit, it deletes itself. Well, we're not gonna have the lives yet. Like in most tower defense games, there's lives. We're not gonna have that yet because right now I need to delete the object. So obj underscore finish. Now this is gonna check to see if tile has, if any target has collided. If so, it's gonna instance destroy other. So we put other inside the bracket. This tells the game, instead of doing it on itself, it does it to the other object. But not all commands can do that. Instant destroy is its own. So we can close that. And we can select visible off, even though we're going to have it outside of the room. Now let's just make it a giant box, even though it doesn't necessarily need to. And so, first thing we're going to do, we're going to target test speed equal 2, bullet, tower, bullet speed equal 12. Now let's see, let's just check the bullet. Bullet speed, okay. So that should be done. Now let's run it for the third time and hopefully the fun. Okay, so we've loaded it up again. Now the thing's slower. The bullet can collide with it because it just did, but it did nothing. And that's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. As to this. Now, it looks like it sometimes misses, and that may be because it's further away from the thing. But otherwise, it's pretty fine. It can go out and we shouldn't get as much lag. Now I can't tell if they actually destroy, but I know they do. So, if you're sure to like this video, then please leave a like if you want to. If you want to see any content that's on my channel, tell me down in the comments, and if you really like my channel, then subscribe. And thanks for watching. If you have any feedback, just ask. I'll probably give it to you, hopefully. Now, thank you, and bye.